This is lesson number 47 in Algebra 2 called Rate Unit Conversions and more on fractional exponents. This will probably be the first of two videos. We'll start out with rate unit conversions. Now you've already done some of these, and what you've done in the past is you've taken something like 48 miles and changed it to, let's say, inches. And if you remember, you wrote 48 miles times line miles down here. Okay, that was what you always did, is you put whatever unit of measure you had here down here. And then we tried to see, is there anything we know about miles in inches? No. So what do we know about miles? We know that there are 5,280 feet to 1 mile. That's not inches, but at least it's getting smaller, it's getting closer. And then we crossed out our miles, because one was on the top, one was on the bottom. We made a time sign, we made another line, and we put our unit of measure down there. So whatever was there, we put there. And then we'd compare feet to inches. Do we know anything about feet in inches? Yes, we do. We know there's 12 inches in 1 foot. And then we can cross out the feet here and the feet here, and we look and see what unit of measure is left, and if it's what we're looking for, we know we're done. And then we just multiply across the top. That's the same as 48 over 1. So we multiply 48 times 5,280 times 12 over 1. And when we multiply that out, that tells us how many inches there are in 48 miles. Alright, so that's what you've done in the past. We're going to add a little bit to that, and it's not really too bad. It's the same format, the same method as far as solving it. There's just a little bit more to it. So what we're going to do with this one is we're going to take something like 42 inches per second. Okay, so something is traveling 42 inches, or about 3.5 feet every second. Okay, and we're going to find out, because I don't really get what inches per second is, but if you tell me miles per hour, that makes sense to me. So we're going to convert 42 inches per second to miles per hour. Notice what we're doing here. We're converting inches to miles and seconds to hours. And we're going to do them completely separate. Alright, so first of all, we're going to write 42 inches per, always means divide, per second. We do the exact same thing, and you pick what you want to do first. Do we want to change inches to miles first, or do we want to change seconds to hours? It doesn't matter. You do them one at a time, and well, let's just do inches to miles since it's on top there. So we put our inches down there because it appears up here, so it's got to be down there because we want them to cancel eventually. And do we know anything about inches and miles? No, we really don't. So I'm going to put, I know I'm going from inches to miles. I'm going something small to something large. So I know that there's 12 inches in 1 foot. So at least I can make it a little bit bigger. And I cancel that. Then since feet is not what I'm looking for, I draw my time sign, and I put my feet down here. Do I know anything about feet in miles? Yes, 5,280 feet in 1 mile. And since miles is what I'm looking for, I know I'm done. I've converted it to miles. In fact, let's put an I there. So I cross out my feet. Alright, now I'm not done yet, because now I've converted my feet or inches to miles. Now let's convert my seconds to hours. So I make another time sign with a line, and I have seconds here, so I know seconds is going to go on top. You remember, they always go in the opposite place, so you can cancel eventually. Alright, do we know anything about seconds and hours? No, but I know there's 60 seconds in 1 minute. And then I can cancel my seconds. So minutes is not what I'm looking for, so I keep going until I get hours. do I know anything about minutes and hours? Notice I put minutes down here, I put it up here so I can cancel. Alright, one of the things I know I've got miles here, so that part's done. And what do I know about minutes? I know that there's 60 minutes in 1 hour. So I've got hours there, which is what I was looking for there. And another thing that's really important is, notice, hours is on the bottom, miles is on top. Hours is on the bottom, miles is on top. That has to be the case. If it's not the case, you did something wrong. It will naturally show up just by doing it correctly in the right place. So if it doesn't, you did something wrong. It's not like, oh no, now I have to convert or I have to figure out how to... No, you don't. If you come up with the wrong place, if miles is not on top and hours is not on bottom, if they're flipped around, then you did something goofy in here. Okay, so now I've got my hours, got my miles, and I write out my numerator times 1 times 1 mile times 60 seconds times 60 minutes over 12 times 5,280 times 1 times 1. Okay, I just included all of these little ones there, just they don't really matter. Alright, so once I do that, I get an answer of 2.39 miles per hour. Not very fast. Little slower than average walking speed, going 42 inches in a second. Alright, so that's pretty much it. So let's try 2 more, and then you should have this down. Okay, so example 47.2 says that we're going to take 480 miles per hour. So I just put it over 1 hour. And we're going to change that to feet per 1 second. Okay, I always like to write that so I know where I'm going. Alright, so 480 miles per hour. Alright, let's do the other one first. Let's change that to seconds first, just to show that it doesn't matter. So hours go on top. Do I know anything about hours and seconds? No, but I do know that there are 60 minutes in an hour, so I can cancel that, and minutes is not what I'm looking for, so I times, and I put minutes on top so that they'll cancel. Do I know anything about minutes and seconds? Yes. And since seconds is what I'm looking for, I'm done with that part of it. And it's on the bottom, like it's on the bottom there. Make a time sign. I'm going to change from miles to feet. So miles is on top there, so it's going to go on bottom there. Do I know anything about miles and feet? Well, heck yeah. I know 5,280 feet are in 1 mile. And lo and behold, feet is what I was looking for. It's on the top, so I am done. So now I just take 480 times 5,280 divided by 60 times 60, which is 3,600. And really, eventually, if you're changing from hours to seconds, you can just go, oh, well, I know in an hour there are 3,600 seconds. You could put 3,600 seconds here and throw this part out. You don't really need the full conversion if you already know that. But I just wanted to expand it out a little bit so you kind of knew what direction we were going. And the book just leaves it like this, and I'm fine if you just leave it like that, because the part that you're learning is this part up there. I know you can multiply these two, multiply those, and divide and get the right answer, but this is the part that I want you to get used to. Alright, so the last example here is 47.3. We've got 15 inches per second, and we're changing that or converting that to yards per hour. Okay, so 15 inches per second, and let's draw this, and let's change our inches to yards. And do we know anything about inches and yards? Well, we could say no, we don't, but we know inches to feet and then change feet to yards. But we do know that there are 36 inches in 1 yard. Okay, so that's what we're looking for, so we're done. So we're going to cancel those. Alright, sorry, there's somebody mowing the lawn out here. I'm probably going to make a lot of noise. Now we're going to change seconds to hours. So we have seconds on the bottom here, so we're going to put seconds on the top there. So do we know anything about seconds and hours? Yeah, we know that there's 3,600 seconds in 1 hour. Now we could have said 60 seconds in a minute and then went 60 minutes in an hour, but we don't have to. Cancel that, and we have 15 times 3,600 over 36. And we end up with 3,600 divided by 36 is going to be 100 times 15, so it's going to be about 1,500 yards in an hour when we multiply everything through. But anyway, that'd be how you do that. That's all I need for an answer. Alright, next video we'll get into more fractional exponents, and I know for some of you that's really tough, so we'll see if we can help you out with that.